It is July already. Can you believe it? We've almost been through a full cycle and the whole book, and I'm so proud of you for sticking with it if you have, and even if you haven't, even if you have a little, if you've just watched the videos, I'm still proud of you. It's a lot. This is a lot of information, and it's a lot of heavy reflection, and you know, it's something that you just keep doing every year, that cycle. And this chapter is very short, but also very important. And so we're observing now ourselves and our gardens, our growth, our setbacks, maybe some things that have kept us from growing, whether they were in our control or not, and how we reacted to them. This is about the time of year where your path might become a little bit clearer, or your next step, maybe not your whole path or the destination that you're supposed to, be for the universe and everything to make sense, but maybe just the next little step. And to really listen, to really observe, is to really pay attention and want to hear that next step and be open to it. Be open to taking it, listening for it, finding it, and then taking it. And I think the most important thing in this lesson is the quote that says, "The universe's timing is perfect, even if it doesn't suit your ego." And that's Dean Jackson. And that says a lot, how we go through the hardships and how things don't work out how we think that they will or want them to. Like when we talked about being younger, what did you want to be when you were little, and what are you now? And how does that sort of play the role in how you feel, your disconnect, what you're seeking, your sadness, your happiness, your joy, your life plan. And then we sit and we have to let go of that ego and ask ourselves, what do we have control over, with our growth and with our listening and with taking those steps? Have we been our own setback, or has it been something that we can't help? Like with our gardens, our plants, has it been the weather? Or did we just set a rock on top of them, And that's really something that's hard to admit sometimes. Did we go against our intuition and give more than we have to somebody, something, a task, taking away from what we know we need? Or did we take something from somebody else, which is also hard to admit? Are we not able to do these things on our own, or think we're not able to do them on our own because we're afraid? So this is just something that, we sit with in this chapter and notice, because the growth just happens all of a sudden. It's that pregnant point that we talk about that just kind of all of a sudden shows up, right? So you're like, oh, boom, this is the way, this is the step, this is the thing. And whether or not you have the courage to take it, to listen, is all the difference. And whether or not you admit to yourself what's holding you back and what you have control over and what you don't have control over is going to be like the outcome, right? You're either going to grow or you're going to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again until you learn or don't learn. So, yeah, it's simple. It's simple, but it's deep. And one of the things that I don't really mention in the chapter, in the reading, is when you sit with your garden or your plants or your favorite tree or whatever, and you're noticing what happened with it and its growth, and whether it sprouted new branches or whether some bug is leeching on it, or whether there's a drought or a flood or something like that that's with like not within its control. See how that reflects onto you and to your experience through this and your life in that moment. See how you can take things that are happening in nature and see how they affect you and are you. And then we have a choice of how we react to it. That is what our control is the reaction. We can take it and we can grow. We can take it, we can throw it aside. We can take it, we can give it to someone else. We can place blame, we can do all of these things. But what we really need to notice is how we react to things that aren't in our control. And learn that that's the thing we have control over, is our reaction, and be okay with it. And grow. The other quote, learn how to see, realize that everything connects to everything else. That's Da Vinci. And that's really what I'm talking about, this whole thing, this entire thing, how we're all one big interconnected being. And if we listen, and if we pay attention, we know our place and our purpose. And if we're brave enough, that's key. If we're brave enough, we follow it. Again, I am so proud of you, and thank you so much for being here with me.